Hey everybody, welcome to Raptors In The Kitchen. It's Tuesday the 2nd of September 2014. I'm your host Alan Kerr, joined by Paul Faulkner.
Straight to your right.
Just
popped
know.
up. Whoa!
He's sitting here, you can actually see his whole face.
I mean, just a bit.
It's a beautiful face.
Straight being able to, or them see my face, but I can't see them because of the DVDs. It's just kind of all blocked out.
Are you talking about the yours?
Oh wait, yeah, I couldn't see. Well, I can't see myself. Sorry, yeah, I couldn't see them in the first place.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy.
What are you talking about?
I can't see anything because of the DVDs.
Right.
It's really difficult.
Oh yeah, I can see you, don't worry, you look golden.
Look fantastic. Good, thank you.
Yeah.
You're looking nice.
Whenever you're on
You got a healthy glow.
Thank
You haven't shared the link on the Facebook page though?
Oh, have an asked.
someone just told you up on that?
No, because I'm trying to find it so I can share
Ah,
it as well. So no one can watch it.
That's
Thanks, guys.
Paco Rodriguez,
How's it going?
as grateful as ever.
What have I got to be grateful for?
Yeah, I guess.
Your health.
Have I got that?
Well, Dr.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, from my
I mean,
outside examination.
he gets loads of exercise, but he survives on Pringles and Iron Brew.
Just to cancel it all out.
Yeah.
So, like, if you had the diet of a healthy person, would you be like
Buff.
as fit as a fiddle?
Super buff.
No.
No, I'm still a gamer. So,
Yeah, but I don't know. Half your day is nothing but walking, correct?
no. 4 hours of my day.
Oh,
Well, that's not half a day.
Yeah, but how long are you awake for?
What's that?
How long are you awake for? That's the only part of the day that I count.
8 hours.
Like, I only get like about 6 hours sleep, so I'm awake for about 18 hours a day.
Well, a few folk get confused because, like, Paco likes to wear shorts. Now everybody's seen his calf muscles. He's got the calf muscles of a bodybuilder, but then you look at the rest of him, and it's like, no, right, it's like down there, bodybuilder, up there, gamer.
Yeah.
Like SpongeBob. Whenever SpongeBob rolls up his shorts, he has like these like carved out of like
Oh, really?
marble calf muscles. Yeah.
Wow,
Like
you got there eventually, carved out of marble.
Did I talk about this in the show
calf
like
muscles.
last week or something?
Like your calf muscles.
Yeah, like the only compliment I ever get about my body is about my calves.
Well, take
That's it.
you can get.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a shame, it's not exactly like the most renownedly sexy part of a guy. Oh man, like let's go with that guy because he's got good calves.
Don't
Doesn't
matter.
happen, does it?
There's probably some website where that's what ladies are really into, calf muscles.
Fucking calf porn.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might get like a different kind of porn if you were to take that in the internet.
Oh.
If you type that, it'd be baby cow porn. Or,
Yeah.
Tommy Bass,
Hi, how you
speaking
doing?
of baby cows, you were up in the Highlands.
I thought you were saying I'm a baby cow. I was like, fucking dare you? Yeah, it was.
Full blown cow, Mr. Prince.
There you go. I like to think I'm a bull, not a cow.
A raging bull.
Why not, man? I'll have it. I'll take that.
So yeah, you weren't here last week. So
No, I was up north.
Laura's not here this week. Should we point out she got the flu.
Mhm.
She's not doing good.
It was good of you to note that right at the beginning of the show.
Well, I like
Just
to.
be a bit more.
I know. If one of them important ones are missing, I like to get it out of the way straight away.
Because otherwise people might just tune out.
Well, I mean, I watched for a wee bit last week. Did you mention like, oh, Tommy's not here, he's in the Highlands?
We forgot
We did
to
eventually,
mention it.
yeah.
I
Until,
mentioned it.
until the very end of the show.
That's okay.
Definitely by the end of the show, people knew.
It's
you were
alright.
going.
I mean, I'm not surprised by them too. It's more you, Paul. I thought you would have, brought a bit more attention.
I was just caught up in the chance of being introduced. I just love it when that buzz hits.
Would you say, Tommy, that you're not
That
angry, you're
makes
just
sense.
disappointed in them?
Nah.
We didn't want to tell them up front because then people would just be like, "No Tommy this week." Psh, cheating out.
Yeah, right.
They're like,
So,
well,
well,
considering
considering-
Tommy's probably here.
Considering I was the only one watching, had you not mentioned it, I'm like, well, I'm out here.
No Tommy and the Raptors, that's like a burger without cheese. Not having it.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, mate.
So how was
Yeah,
the Highlands?
it was good, man. The weather was really nice. I did my Ice Bucket Challenge. It was fun. Yeah, what else did I do? Oh, man, like, I watched Lethal Weapon for the first time in ages.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you said in ages because
No, God, man, oh, am I some kind of psycho? Like, I was like, wow, I fucking really love this movie and forgot how good it was. And then after, I was like, man, I'm all jazzed to watch another fucking action movie. Turned over and Point Break was just starting. And I was like, man, 2 Gary Buseys, man, brilliant. And then the next night, Under Siege was on, so it was just a Gary Busey Manafiller, man, brilliant. And then he was on Celebrity Big Brother. I was like, holy shit.
Is he dead?
No, he's on Celebrity Big Brother right now.
It's because just like usually there's somebody saturating.
I think Channel 4 knew who was going to be on
And
their
that was it.
Big Brother sled,
Yeah.
so
My
for lining
God,
up.
yeah. he's
Clever.
He's
dropping the hints.
He's lost it, man. Definitely.
So what else is Gary Busey was also in Predator 2?
No, was he in Predator 2?
You're thinking of.
Do you know who Gary Busey is?
I thought I did.
Right. Okay. Gary Busey is
He's in the
Keanu's
Danny
partner
Glover?
in Point Break. Right.
Danny Glover's in Predator 2, and he's also in Lethal Weapon.
Hold on.
That's what it is. That's the.
No,
that's
because the one I'm thinking, like, is he not in Predator 2? Is he not the guy who's tracking the Predator, and he's trying to capture it by freezing it? Is that not Gary Busey?
What?
Who's that then?
Man, I haven't seen Predator 2 in a while. That happens in Predator 2.
Yeah, like
It's
he's
been a while.
the guy. He's like, right, who else is in? I'm trying to think of something else. Right, hold on. Just so his son is
He's in Starship
Contact.
Troopers, and he's in Contact.
Yes.
He's the
Gary
he's the man
Busey
Christian.
Gary Busey
Oh,
is
shit.
absolutely in Predator 2.
Do you remember?
Thank you very much, Paul, for putting IMDb up in the
Tommy,
story.
There you go.
remember the other day I was telling you about this crazy shot from a movie where like it goes down a hallway, then kind of morphs into the reflection of a door. It's Contact. That's the movie that it's in.
All right.
There's
Okay.
a shot right where I've never seen the movie Contact, but I saw it on YouTube. Where the character is running down a hall and the camera is in front of them, moving backwards. So they're running towards the camera, right? This will be really hard to explain in audio.
Mhm.
So they go up and they run up down the hall, around the corner, and into a bathroom, right? And so the camera's moving backwards, and then they get to they reach out their hand and open up a mirrored cabinet door in a bathroom. But then when they pull the door open, the camera like kind of turns to the side, and it's as if like that whole shot you just saw was in the reflection of the cabinet door.
All right.
So
Okay.
then it moves away, and the camera turns around, and you see the way they open the door from like the side perspective. It's
Right.
like, how did they make that happen? Because you saw the whole shot going down the corridor.
So where did you see that if you weren't watching Contact?
Like someone at work told me about it, how like it's an amazing camera shot.
All right. You just
So, like,
YouTube or
I'll
something.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, digital photography is just something.
Yeah, but, like,
so it's like,
it's,
that's probably amazingly easy to do.
Yeah, probably, but it's just a really clever idea.
Contact's a really good movie until
Until
the
the
end.
end.
The end
Yeah.
completely fucks it. Like you're just like I'm kind of angry at this film now. That's how
No,
bad
like-
it was.
Do you ever think you watch Contact?
Yeah, I like aliens.
It's a Robert
so
Zemeckis movie.
Let's not ruin it for me.
It's like it
I
is.
know it's about aliens.
It is pretty good, but like the last 5 minutes are such a massive cop out, especially considering the book was written by Carl Sagan. Do you know who that is? I guess you know who that
Yeah,
is.
he's
yeah. Like it had like a proper ending, but like the studio decided that people couldn't handle that ending, so they changed it to a really pathetic one.
Yeah, I really.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But there's also like a bit halfway through the movie where something happens and you're like, that's amazingly convenient.
Yeah, like yeah. I think it actually.
amazingly
Yeah, it
convenient.
actually involves Gary Busey. It's because of Gary Busey's son that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, how about that? But yeah, that's a very convenient thing.
You also
But-
said that you watched Shooter with Gary, Chris, Danny Glover.
I never said I watched. No, we talked about Shooter because I was talking about. Yeah, I was talking about how Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon doesn't have a list, and I know it was like 1984, and like Shooter was what 2007 or 8,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, where did that list come from?
There's someone else that's happening to now. Like we watched a movie in like the past month, and I was like,
Mhm.
man, that's an old actor that never used to have that speech impediment, but he's
Right.
getting it. I forgot who it is.
I think it's probably because he wears dentures now. I'm gonna guess.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe he forgot to put his dentures in, and that's.
I mean, they're just too big. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a kind of thing going on.
No, but like, yeah. But anyway, that was it, and then I just kind of sat out, went and watched the majestic that is the islands. Went along the beach. It was great. As I said, weather was superb. It was just
freezing.
Oh no, it wasn't that freezing at all. It was just really nice, man. It's like imagine a really nice postcard of a beach in a coastal town. That's exactly what it was like in Ballantor. It's lovely.
Can I tell you guys something that may get me kicked off the podcast?
It's your
You
podcast.
don't know what a beach is,
Never seen any Lethal Weapon movie.
so you are some kind of psycho. Like I said, you know you can get that shit like four of them for
Paul,
like.
give me the nod of me too, man.
Yeah,
like,
Paul
yeah.
Johnson are- you guys clearly had a shit childhood.
No, what is
I look back on it, and yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like there's so many movies that you guys should have
Yeah,
loved.
should have seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
should have seen this kid.
Let's not even should have seen, but should have loved. Like growing up watching Lethal Weapon and like Predator and Die Hard and
Well, yeah, you like
all
Shane
those
Black,
things
don't
are
you?
just like
That was like his first script, I think it was. He kind of inadvertently created the buddy cop genre.
I mean, if
That wasn't the first buddy cop movie.
Well, I'm trying to think what was before it in terms of buddy cop comedy. You could argue maybe
when did Turner and Hitch come out?
little early
Starsky and
80s.
Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch,
Yeah, well, that was
70s.
again,
That was TV, but
show,
like,
yeah.
but still though, like, yeah.
But
Buddy
Lethal-
Odd Couple, yeah.
No, but like no buddy cop.
Yeah,
all
that's
these
an
old
idea.
crimes.
I mean, you should have seen the X-rated version.
No, but like see like with Lethal Weapon, it's like as well as being like just a really kind of it's an
Star
80s
Wars with C-3PO and R2D2.
Yup, yeah.
Like Lethal Weapon's just a really kind of tight action movie, like really good dialogue and whatever. And yeah, it's from the 80s, so it's got a lot of kind of cheesy bits, but the comedy in it is always like really like just like that's odd that would be an action. Sorry, a cop action movie.
Is it? I mean, like, it's been a while since I watched it. It's either Riggs or Biggs.
Riggs.
Riggs. Like, does he live in a caravan on the beach in the first one?
Yeah.
So that's not something.
So who lives in a caravan under the sea?
Under the sea.
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay.
No, Mel Gibson's character Martin Riggs, he lives in a caravan at the beach.
I like the way Alan said about him.
It's quite horrible actually. It's like because they have
Doesn't
that
he want
whole,
to kill himself?
Yeah.
he's
a hard-boiled detective who is down on his luck.
nah it's
Oh
like
God! What?
it's
like
like
he meets like a straight-laced detective they don't get on it first.
yeah it's like
But then like during the course like the movie, they learn to respect each other and Riggs finds a reason to live again.
Oh, there's like a single tear just down my face. Absolute joy. Does it somehow follow a 3-arc cycle? Just perfect.
Well, it was originally like a good 3-arc cycle, but then they added on a
the
fourth.
fourth one ain't great, but I don't hate it. But yeah.
Jet Li's in the fourth one, isn't he?
But yeah,
Do they make small jokes at his expense?
they just kind of mess with him because he's annoying.
Do you know what else is annoying?
Well,
Joe Pasquale.
yeah, he is.
Joe
yeah.
Pasquale.
I would agree.
He is annoying,
But he's not in Lethal Weapon, it's Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. Joe Pasquale is like a kind of like
Joe Pesci's not annoying.
middle-aged.
He is annoying a bit. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. Aye, his character in it is Leo Gex.
Pasquale.
He's like really annoying, but Joe Pesci's like
Podcast.
Joe Pesci's an amazing actor.
He's not really though, is he?
Ah, he is.
Well, because he was in Goodfellas and did the exact same
He's in Raging Bull, Goodfellas. He's awesome in Home Alone. He's really
My cousin Vinny.
Yep, he's good in My Cousin
I
Vinny.
will give you Home Alone.
He's excellent in Casino.
Home Alone 2.
Wet Bandits.
Yep.
Sticky Bandits it was.
Sticky Bandits is the
second
second one, yeah. Wet Bandits. Why are they called the Wet Bandits again?
Because
Because
he
he's
likes
on all
to
the
flood.
taps
He
and
likes to
shit,
flood
yeah.
the house.
And then the second one is just Sticky Bandits because he's got a sticky glove that helps him steal things.
Do you have a favourite bit in Home Alone 1? I mean,
well, like
Apart from all the like awesome traps and shit, like,
like
at the end.
the bit when the old neighbour's family come and visit at the end, the old man, and it's like
Do you know, a bit I love is when not Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern goes up because they're scouting out the house, and Macaulay Culkin knows that, so he turns up the gangster movie really loud, and he makes it as if there's like a shootout in the house. I don't know why that, but I think that's excellent.
I like that his older brother's called Buzz.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
One
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look what you did, you little freak.
Jerk.
Jerk.
So like he puts,
Kevin,
the,
you're such a disease.
he puts the candles up behind his ears.
In the
during
second one,
the-
yeah.
Is that the second one?
It is the second one.
God, they blur together so much.
Yeah.
The second one was he ends up in New York in his own in a hotel.
That's
Yeah,
right.
And he has the top boy.
And Tim Curry and Rob Schneider
Something
are
to do with
like
dogs.
twins.
He meets someone.
The old
And
pigeon
Fern
lady.
Lady.
Yeah, the old pigeon lady.
Yeah.
She's the equivalent of the old man neighbour in the second one.
And it felt a little. I mean, tried and tested a little bit. Just
Yeah.
hammy at that point.
There was 4 Home Alone movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But John Hughes only made the first 2.
John Hughes, I don't think did he direct the first one?
I think they just
No.
produced it.
He produced it. Yeah, Chris Columbus did the first 2, and then the other ones without Macaulay Culkin was done by some.
And the fourth one,
Yeah.
he's never actually home alone.
What?
There's always somebody in the home with him.
Scarlett Johansson's in the third one.
No
Or
way.
young Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Wow.
So oh, you know.
Yeah. What did you do this week, Patrick?
What did I do? Nothing. I did nothing.
Really?
I played
Just
video
sitting
games.
waiting for Destiny.
I watched Star Trek Voyager. I'm fucking so I'm ready for Destiny
Give
now.
my life meaning, yeah.
Yeah. I went to the pub with Tommy and Craig and all them.
Mhm.
That doesn't count as doing stuff, does it? That's what people do when they're not doing things.
Should we talk about what we intend to do with The Walking Dead?
No.
Alright, cool. Well, stay tuned for a surprise thing with The Walking Dead, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do you want me to talk about the films I saw this week, since they're not new films?
I'll come back to you after we talk to Paul.
What's the Tommy side to talk about? Lethal Weapon.
No, he's not asked Paul how his days.
I didn't expect that. That caught me by surprise.
Right, okay.
He asked me what I was doing. I watched Lethal Weapon.
See, I watch films. That's
Film? You watch film?
I watched a film.
John dies at the end. You watched that as well.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, like you came along here today before
Yeah.
I really watched the end of it.
Would you do this, Paul?
I've not done a whole lot. I'm really sorry.
You've not even watched film?
Oh no, I watched some of The Breakfast Club last night.
You've never seen that before?
No, yeah, I've seen it a couple of times.
Another John Hughes movie? Or
So it's just the way you give me that look as if a well-known movie. I've seen it a couple of times, Tom.
I don't think I've
I've
seen
seen
it.
Lethal Weapon though.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen The Breakfast Club.
You have.
I don't think I have.
Yes, you have.
That's the one with the freak.
No,
Detention's out on Saturday.
I don't think I've seen. I know what it is. I don't think I've seen it.
I'm sure you've seen it.
I watched Dazed and Confused.
Oh, you've seen that. We've seen City Animals Fire as well.
Have I seen City Animals?
I'm sure you watched that with Neil.
Like-
Jesus.
I've seen the music video, the John Parr music video for City Animals Fire.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know if I've seen the movie
That's
because I've not seen any of what are they collectively known as?
The Brat
Yeah.
Pack.
Brat-
I don't think I've seen any of them.
You've seen.
In fact, is Dazed and Confused one of them?
No.
16 Candles?
No, I've not seen it.
Pretty in Pink?
No. Pretty Women?
No.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
There's weird science in amongst them.
I don't think so. No, I would say so.
It's
None of the Rat Pack are in that.
Yeah.
Is it Andy McCarthy?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Stars in it.
Dexter?
No, it's Michael C.
Michael
Hall.
C.
Hall.
Okay.
He's one of the Breakfast
Anthony
Club.
Michael Hall is the redhead guy in Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Alright.
I definitely don't think I've seen it.
It's very, very 80s.
It's
Or
good
the
though.
John Hughes
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, it's very much a John Hughes movie, and it has a really misinterpretation of what happens when you take weed.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
They start
Is it
running
that
about
much?
and jumping and dancing and have
Like
all the
spinning
energy in the world.
Yeah.
It's like,
Most of them are
That's
kind of
a lot.
giggling, but then sporty guy gets extra sporty, and it's like no.
well, Molly Ringwald's like dancing, like she's having like the best time. I was like, that's not weed, that's another drug.
I've seen
That's
people.
sugar.
I've seen
That's
people do that.
that's
with
sugar.
weed.
That's other stuff as well.
I've seen people get like happy and dance with weed. I've seen that.
No, but it's like they take weed, and it's not like like they would just be sitting there and kind of chilling out. They're all like mega energetic. You're like, that doesn't happen.
See, do you see that like as someone who's done it when you haven't?
I've watched many people do it around me, and none of them decide to
He
jump
actually has
on a
better,
table.
information about it.
I have been in the company of people who are quite active when they've been out.
Not like Breakfast Club active. Help me out here.
Yeah, he's right. The way the movie portrays it is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You're like the most teetotal guy in the planet again.
Yeah, but
Maybe he's
I
got
like
friends
I
and
like
stuff.
a lot of cyber cell. Okay, so I
You
feel
know
I
about
am.
it. All those
An
separate
authority.
things.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I'm not claiming to be like some massive fucking druggie.
Back
That is
forwards,
not the
mate.
case.
Yeah, weed intellectual.
You guys don't know. You weren't there. You don't do it, right?
So why did you watch some of The Breakfast Club?
Because I came in from work last night and it was on television, so I sat watching it until I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of tired, so I left. But I saw
Well, you enjoyed it.
I like The Breakfast Club. Yeah, like me and Alan talked about it before, and Alan's quite negative on it.
I've only watched it once when I was like 14, and I think it was just like, this isn't relevant to my life. I'm not watching this.
That's the only time it was ever going to be relevant to your life.
Yeah.
Man, you've missed it.
Yeah, man.
I get to be the one who looks down on you. Come on, everyone who's seen the movie.
It's one of those movies that if you don't watch it at like the appropriate time, you'll like it. Like I remember watching Labyrinth for the first time when I was an adult, and I'm like, it's all right. But I'd imagine growing up, I would have had a great appreciation for it.
Yeah,
Same as other folk I know is like,
the Goonies.
yeah, I love the Goonies as a kid because that's like the ultimate kid fantasy.
Oh, you do like the Goonies?
I love the Goonies, but I grew up watching it, like going off and exploring, finding treasure. That's brilliant. No mobile phones. But Labyrinth, I'm like, probably would have been the same thing, but I watched it as an adult and therefore didn't have the nostalgia.
Labyrinth is like a weird film for me.
Princess
because-
Bride was the same,
Oh, that's a good movie.
but I never grew up watching it.
Labyrinth is one of those films where, like, the kind of rational part of me like wants to hate it, just like out of principle because it just looks so fucking stupid and crappy.
You know, like Star Wars, though.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, but then when I start watching Labyrinth, by the end of it, I'm like, this is one of the best films I've seen in fucking ages.
That's how a lot, because I was watching it with Danny, and I sort of tried to say to her, like, when watching The Breakfast Club, there's kind of a weird, like, sort of shittiness to this, but at the same time, it's, like, really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's just some weird way, even though it's very cheesy and all their dialogue and really, like, hyper reality, like, it's not real at all.
Yeah.
It's so unrealistic, but there's something inside the words that they're saying and the kind of the soul that they're trying to kind of pinpoint on, that you're just like, fuck yeah, man, we all do just want to get on. We all are different, but and it won't matter after this day.
Are you saying it's like opera?
It's like I feel like you're sharing a moment because like you're talking like what seems directly to me, but like I've not seen it.
No, but it's
even better.
Yeah, it totally has that John Hughes thing of like, you know what, man, like we all need to come together and solve our problems and just life will be all right. And you know, the dreamers, if you will.
What else has he done? I'm sure I've seen more John Hughes.
Best John
Planes,
Hughes movie
Trains.
ever is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, man.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I've not seen
Better
that.
than Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Like, have we spoken about Ferris Bueller's Day Off on the show before?
Don't know, maybe. We've been doing it for 3 years. Forgot to mention this.
Yeah, man.
This is a 3-year anniversary. Forgot to mention that. We've got Avengers cake. We're going to tuck into. I don't know, whenever.
You can't see it.
Whenever Fact was up for it.
Avengers
Cake.
This is what you're missing, Laura. Some Avengers cake.
It could have been yours, Laura, along with the money I owe you.
No more.
So she's not getting the money because she's not here.
So what are you asking? What other John Hughes movies are? You not
No,
Ferris Bueller's.
about Ferris Bueller though, because I've heard so many people say that it's good, but it stars Matthew Broderick.
See, that's my problem with it. It is a good movie, but Matthew Broderick is like shit.
I've not seen
Like, he's
it.
a terrible
I fucking
actor.
hate him.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to watch
No,
it?
you'll still like it. You'll just be wishing it was someone else that was Ferris Bueller, but the story's really good and his pals in it are really good as well.
So the other thing is as well, like, I don't know if this is right or not, and I don't want to be corrected if it's wrong.
What?
I'd heard.
Do you want me just to
somewhere-
leave it?
Yeah, like just.
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say?
Like, what do you want? Like,
It's like
What, like,
I've
what-
heard
what Paul
that.
just said. Like,
With the fan theory that Ferris doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That is like that's
Well, so it's a fan theory.
it's
That's
a
not like
theory,
right.
I mean, it fits though. Like, there's nothing to contradict really in the movie.
I think,
I've not seen it well, but I reckon there probably is a few.
but it's like it's a fun theory. It's like
So it's
fun.
not like you watch
Because-
it and that seems to be
No, but
evident. It's
At
not
the same, no, there's a bit where like the principal is chasing Ferris. Ferris is actively trying to catch him out. So that theory's out the window.
Yeah, but this could all just be.
What, in his head?
No,
I'm the unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
You know, just
What if he was a ghost the whole time and the boy could see him?
No.
It was, Switchblade Romance. No, not Switchblade Romance. Is that right? Switchblade
I'm going
Romance.
for Sixth Sense, but Switchblade Romance is the one where the girl.
Really awful twist.
Yeah, the
it's
girl
like-
thinks she's being stalked by a killer, but she is the killer.
Because that's
That
pretty
film,
ridiculous.
because the film was alright up to that point, and then that end, no one
Pretty
enjoyed it.
fucking bad.
Have you played Braid?
No, but I've also heard possibly the twist in that being that like you think you're the hero and you're trying to save a girl, but it turns out she's trying to run away from you and doing a stalk.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yes.
that's kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah. But that's why it's good, because it is fucked up. It just takes that whole idea. Like, what if the princess isn't being kidnapped? What if Princess Peach is just trying to get away from Mario?
Protected.
Like it's good.
And also, it's like a weird parable about the creation of the nuclear bomb. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird game. Yeah, it's a great game though.
Okay.
So you watched, what was it called? All the President's Men or something?
Confessions of a
Confessions of a
Jeez, oh.
Dangerous Mind.
Keep up.
Which is George Clooney's directorial debut,
Yes.
starring Sam Rockwell, Drew Barrymore, who is fucking lovely, man. I really like Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah.
Like, something about, like, she's not like supermodel hot, but there's something about her that I find really attractive.
She's girl next door hot.
She's a weird like almost lisp type thing as
Yeah.
well, which I know.
She's adorable.
Yeah,
She's
she's
really
really cute.
fucking nice. But that aside, she's also really good in this movie.
Drew Barrymore. Is it Julia Roberts? She knows.
Julia Roberts is best thing Julia Roberts has ever done by a fucking mile.
Oh man, you've not seen Pretty Woman.
Yeah, like she can't eat snails. So
Carry on.
wasn't that what that whole movie was about?
Carry on.
Julia Roberts wants to eat snails, but she can't.
Because
She was
she's a
like-
pretty woman.
She was gonna get married, then she ran away from Richard Gere or something
She's a hooker.
and Runaway Bride.
It's a Pretty Woman.
And both of those movies, I think, right?
Yeah, man, she's a. Right, what were you going to say, Paco? I'm not.
Right.
Keep going.
So yeah, Julia Roberts, best thing she's done by a male, I think.
Okay.
I thought she was really good in this.
Mhm.
There was a couple other actors who made
The
cameos.
support.
Brad Pitt, Matt Damon made cameos in it, just like randomly
pals,
out of
George
nowhere.
Clooney.
Yeah.
Well, probably exactly that.
Clooney's in it for a while, so.
Yeah, like Rutger Hauer. Also, best thing Rutger Hauer has ever done.
Whoa!
It fucking is. Like he's got,
Whoa.
like, he done like loads of schlocky. Don't know. You like Blade Runner? That's right.
Blade Runner and The Hitcher. The Hitcher is easily the best thing he's
The
done.
Hitcher is like a schlocky horror movie. Like,
What? And that can't be the best thing he's ever done.
it's not like this is like his part, however small it is in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, is really good. Like the fact that he's like a trained killer who loves what he's doing so much that he wants pictures of himself killing his victims is pretty fucking. That was like I like that.
I don't know anything about this movie. So
Right.
what's
Okay.
that about?
So go back to the start. This is a pseudo autobiographical story of Charlie Kaufman. No. Sorry, it was written by Charlie Kaufman about.
Sam Rockwell's characters.
Chris Barry or something. Hold on.
Chris Barry was Rimmer.
Yeah, it's not him then.
Yeah, it's Sam Rockwell's character.
Chuck Barris,
Yeah, there you go.
Chris Barry. Okay, that'd be a different.
I'd be
movie.
interested in that. Yeah.
Right, so Chuck Barris is a game show host in America. Like in real life, he's a game show host in America, and he also is responsible for creating loads of shows like the Dating
The
Game,
dating you. Yeah.
and another one called the Gong Show.
Yeah.
Which
so
is pretty much
he's the person who created
Really
it.
iconic stuff. Yeah.
Like in real life, he's the one who created all these things. Like, and he wrote a book claiming that while he was doing all of this, he was also an undercover spy working for the CIA who was killing people all around the world.
Mhm.
So, as I said, now I'm going to his name.
Charlie
Chuck
Kaufman.
Barris.
Charlie Kaufman
All right.
wrote the. Oh God! He
Screenplay.
wrote the screenplay
Yeah.
based on
This
Chuck Barris's book.
memoir.
Yeah, his memoir.
And it was co-written by someone else. Who
I'm sorry.
sort of-
Is the book
it's so weird. The
is it-
whole thing is just fucking odd.
is the book supposed to be for real? Is
No,
he-
when
is
when
the
you're
book-
watching
the
the book is an
movie-
autobiography.
Yeah, but
is
when
this
you're
the truth?
no,
But
when
you,
you
like no one knows.
yeah,
that's
that's
part
the
of
point
the
of the
charm.
film. Yeah.
Because that's like the movie.
You don't know how much is made up and what isn't.
The movie's so odd though because like as well as having something that is clearly a kind of a produced film, it's also interspliced with real life footage of actual people who Chuck Barris knew, talking about it like it's a documentary. So it's filmed kind of like a documentary, but also as this kind of CIA espionage thing of a guy who did a double life. And all his friends claim, in real life, again, not in the film, in real life, his friends claim that they don't know whether or not he's telling the truth or not. So, like, before you even get into whether or not the film's good, just everything fucking surrounding it is, like,
Yeah.
so fucking interesting.
That does sound great.
But then, adding on to that as well, I didn't know anything about this film. I knew that George Clooney was in it. And I think I'd got it kind of crossed over with is it Michael Clayton? Is that what it's called? Because like I thought it was going to be like a kind of boring film like that, and
Yeah,
then
Michael
when
Clayton is boring.
Sam Rockwell shows up, and he's like the main character, I was like something's a bit odd here, and like it kind of starts off just feeling a lot like a more modern Annie Hall, like because it's following the events of like a failed writer who kind of hates himself as much as he hates everyone else, kind of thing. It's got that kind of feel that kind of Woody Allen kind of gets in Annie Hall.
It's not only that, it's the whole, as you said, it's Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
Because adaptation has got that kind of thing, again, in terms of it's autobiographical, where it's about a writer who hates himself and other people. And
Yeah,
Charlie
it's like
Kaufman
very
seems to
much-
have that
it-
thing when he does
like,
do that about
very much
writers.
feels kind of like Hunter S. Thompson or I forgot his fucking name, thingy from Californication. Hank Moody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that kind of feel to it. Like, they're kind of just, they're a part of this whole lowest common denominator of entertainment, and they hate it, and they're aware of what they're doing, but they're doing it anyway for like because it's the only kind of means they've got having recognition, and having money, and all that
Like
sort of stuff.
Bukowski.
Yeah, so like it starts off that way, and I was like, I'm in for 2 hours of a movie I'm not going to enjoy. And then George Clooney shows up, and it kind of takes that whole CIA kind of twist to it. So it's then him leading a double life and just being like this writer, critic, game show host guy who hates everyone, like but trying to stay out of the kind of public eye for his hitman stuff that he's also doing like in other countries. And like it's just such a weird balance. So like it goes between being really funny in like a kind of offbeat way to super serious in like the most grim manner you can imagine. And like it's like I'm trying to think, like it put me in mind of loads of other films when I was watching it. But that whole thing, the juxtaposition between having a film that is funny and then serious and then funny and then serious, kind of just plays with you all the way through it and stuff. And it's really interesting. It's really worth a watch.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
For something that's George Clooney's first effort at a film as well, the direction in it is absolutely outstanding. It like kind of put me in mind a lot of like a Michel Gondry movie or something like that, where it's like they play a lot with the transitions where, say, like Sam Rockwell's on the phone and he's talking to like one of the execs at ABC Studios or whatever it is, like about maybe getting this thing funded. But while he was on the phone, like part of the set in the background just falls, and it's the office in LA with the guy sitting talking.
Right.
But then Drew Barrymore's in his apartment, so she's like dancing in the background, and it's like all that kind of all those things. Like he starts daydreaming during bits, and it's like you just see like parts of the studio getting torn away, and like it's something like the Alamo, and he's got a shotgun and he's killing people and all that sort of stuff. It's like, as well as being like a really interesting film, which is also part documentary, it's just really creatively done. It's just it's really,
it's very
it's really good.
Yeah.
A really fucking good movie.
But like you get that about like a lot of other Clooney movies where it's like it's not just this is just a good movie. It's well made.
Yeah.
From someone who clearly has a particular visual style and is not afraid to be creative with their shots.
It's also one of the, like I think that anybody just walking into the cinema would probably watch this film, be a bit kind of confused at first, but end up liking it. I think that people who love films are going to come away with this taking a bit more from it.
Well, that's like as soon as you said Kaufman was involved, that's immediately kind of you jump on that because he's just an incredible screenwriter. He just does crazy, brilliant things.
Like, I don't know if I've
Being
probably
John
seen this.
Malkovich.
Yeah, okay. There's a part in this where they're on the set of Being John Malkovich.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yes, it's Being John Malkovich, adaptation of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
awesome,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
And
Just
Synecdoche, New York, where that he directed that as well as wrote it.
I could get all those films. I could see that being in this. There's theories going around on the internet that because this was executively produced by Steven Soderbergh, they
It would be
think
him and Clooney.
that he had a big hand in the direction.
and he's a stylish
Exactly,
director. He knows
exactly.
what he's doing.
So it's like it's got honestly, it has everything going for it. Like it's worth a watch. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, well, Steven Soderbergh and Clooney have their own production company because they were the ones that kind of give, I guess, well, not even as big break, but like they executive produced Insomnia, and I think they were the ones that says we want Christopher Nolan to do it, and you know, and so after Insomnia, that was him away kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, the two of them are like really good pals, so it's always nice to have an accomplished director as a pal as a go-to guy. Say, look, how would you set up the shot? How would you light it? What will be a good edit transition to follow on? You know, things like that. So yeah.
Like one other thing of it, like that I'd say was kind of noteworthy, like from a personal point of view. It's like my entire life, I've always assumed at some point I'm going to start writing, and one of the main themes in this is how he wants to be an accomplished writer, and then he gets to the age of 32 and he has done nothing with his life, and like so much of it is just that kind of sober reflection of, like I think one of the quotes he says really early in film is like when you're young, like you can be anything, you know, like you're going to grow up and you're going to be Einstein or you're going to be the president. And then all of a sudden you're 32 and you realise that you're shit. It's just, you know, that whole kind of thing. He's like, when he's doing that, like that whole bit is just him standing in his living room bare naked with a massive beard. So just looking like he wants to die. It's like, I thought it was really good. Like the whole film is just that whole, just sober reflection of like unreached potential and missed opportunities. And it's such a fucking good movie, man. I really enjoyed it.
Well, you do stand in the living room a lot, nearly naked
Yeah,
with
no,
a big beard.
Yeah.
What was it called? Sorry, just again.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Thank you.
I think I might watch that tonight.
Yeah, it's really
Really good.
Yeah, you really sold it to me.
Like it is quite a slow start. It's also like other like random cameo. Michael Cera. I keep getting everyone's fucking name wrong, man. But yeah, like
I thought you meant John Cena.
he is
I thought you meant,
super young. Like this was
Short
it
Rival.
was like 2002.
This movie,
It
no,
was like
I think it was like 2003 or 4 because I think I seen it because I was in Glasgow by 2003.
2003.
It was one of the first movies I seen at UGC.
So I'm gonna get his name wrong again because I fucking forgot what it was.
Michael Pena.
Yeah, the new Mexican dude from
And watch.
Outside. No. So
Michael
Cera.
Cera. Why have I got everyone's names?
Just call George Michael.
George Michael. Yeah,
There you
so
go.
like he is super young in it.
Mm.
Like he's the opening scene where he's. No, I'll even waste it. Right. It's worth a watch.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Do you want to hear about my other movie? Have I spoke too much already?
We've only watched half of it, so
I've watched like most of it.
we'll jump back in next week when you've seen the whole thing. You can
Right,
tell
okay.
us.
It's equally as interesting though.
Yes,
It is, yeah.
Have you
Fantastic.
seen
I saw that, and I would say, no offense, the way you watched it, like The Perfect Way was like an 11 o'clock showing at the film festival last year, so it was like a really good, just kind of midnighty, schlocky.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
place to
well,
see
have
it.
you finished that? Then
It's-
you guys can talk about it next week.
Well, both of these films are ones that I haven't known anything about and then just watched. So John Dies at the End especially is one where I didn't even know it existed before today. And then I heard about it and just started watching it straight away.
Are you a Phantasm fan? That's the
I've
director
never,
of these
it's one with like the
films.
silver ball thing that floats about
Yeah,
and kills people.
it is.
I've never seen it.
I listen to that. Oh, sorry.
I've seen at least one of his other films, I forget what it is. What?
Yeah,
Bubble
Bubble
Hotep.
Hotep,
I saw
yeah.
that.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I thought it
I've
was
seen
shit.
that film. Yeah.
I don't like Bubble Hotep. I've not seen Beastmaster, and I've got Phantasm 2, and it's very 80s, very schlocky, but I quite like it.
John Dies at the End is, if nothing else, a very interesting movie.
I agree with that.
Paul, I think I spoke to you about it. Have you ever seen or heard of Searching for Sugar Man?
It was one which I missed, but like, yeah, you I think were the one who brought it up with me. One best documentary too.
Yeah, I did, yeah. But I just watched it this week.
I bet you like that.
I just okay.
Yeah, I watched it this week.
Pretty excellent.
Yeah, it was excellent. Like beforehand, everyone who had seen it said like specifically to me, "Oh, like you'll love it," and yeah, they were right. I'll tell you what it's about since none of you guys have seen it. It's a documentary about this artist called Rodriguez. It's all he's known as.
Aye.
And he has this huge cult following. Not even a cult following, just a huge mainstream following in South Africa, where like his records sell like millions. It goes like gold, platinum, blah blah blah. And he's like as big as Elvis in South Africa, kind of during like the 80s, like early 80s apartheid kind of
Good time to
time.
be like.
Yeah, so he's this huge thing, and it's these two guys who are like big fans of him. They want to find out a bit more about him, and they do a lot of research. They can't find anything about him, not even his first name, like where he's from, anything like that. But then they find out that he like killed himself on stage, like in the 70s when he was younger, and that's why there's no information about him. And they hear all these different stories about how it happened and how he did it, and you know what became of him afterwards, and they're like, well, this all sounds a bit strange. This all sounds very strange.
Hold on. Did you say like he was around during like apartheid?
No. His albums were released in the 70s, but like he was like through the years
Became a big deal.
in South
Right,
Africa,
right,
he
right,
became
okay.
like this huge artist that just no one knew anything about him.
Right.
And they would say, oh, you know, you go into any house in South Africa, they'll have Abbey Road by the Beatles, Thriller by Michael Jackson, and Cold Fact by Rodriguez.
Okay.
It's like there's that kind of big deal.
Right.
So
Okay.
these two guys, they go on a mission to try and find out more about him.
To search for Sugar Man.
Yeah, well, Sugar Man is like one of his like signature songs, and like one of the guys who is the guy who's looking for him. His name is like something Seagerman, but the way it's pronounced, it sounds like they're calling him Sugar Man. So his
Right.
nickname is Sugar, and like that's because everyone in that country knows that song. So it's like, oh, Sugar Man, we'll call you Sugar Man. That's my South African accent, by the way.
It's alright.
Yeah, heard better.
It's not quite teacup, is it?
But yeah, I'll try and tell you as little as possible about it, because where the film eventually ends up being at the end of it is so like it's an incredible story.
Okay.
You guys should really check it out, and also just the two albums are incredible. Like
So you've listened to them now?
yeah, like well they're all the way the two albums. The music is all the way through the film, and yeah, they're easy enough to get a hold of online. It's just great. It's like it sounds like it's like a Bob Dylan sound from Motown. It's just a great kind of street poet feel to it. He's amazing.
Okay.
And the documentary is fantastic. You should all go and check
Makes
it
you
out.
wonder though, like, why is this guy just popular there and nowhere else? Like,
Well, watch
Yeah,
the film.
just, yeah,
You should, yeah.
the way the world works.
My fear was that his songs are some kind of racial thing. If it was like apartheid, it was like,
Well,
oh
like
God.
it's all very like social conscious
Right.
lyrics, like kind of
Kind of like a Bob Marley song, but
yeah,
not reggae.
more kind of more deep than a Bob Marley song, like more.
Try to say Marley ain't deep, mate.
Yeah, well, jamming. What are you gonna?
No woman, no cry, man.
Yeah, that's like an old standard though. He didn't write that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, search for Sugar Man. It's on Netflix. I recommend everyone go and watch it. It's fantastic. And then listen to the 2 albums.
Is that take it that's US Netflix though, not?
I've lost track at this point. I know it's definitely on the US Netflix. That's where I watched it. But I'd hope it's on. Oh wait, no, it's not on either of them. Sorry.
Jeez.
I watched it through
Plot
other.
twist.
I watched it through other means.
Ah, okay.
So.
Film.
It came to you in a dream.
Yep. Oh, yep. Both. I watched it on Love Film and a dream. But yeah, that's unless anyone else has any news, we should get to the news.
Take me to the news.
News.
We're on the news train.
Use me, baby.
There's not a lot of it this week, which is why we've spent most of the podcast talking about old films.
I was gonna say we spent most of the podcast talking about films. It's like, no,
Yeah, for
that's,
once.
that's just what we do, man. That's just what we do.
Scorsese has been tipped to direct a biopic about the Ramones.
Ramones, man. I'm
Alright, fucking let the grapes get cold. Gee whiz.
Well, 3 of them are pretty cold. It's only
Once you add another
Tommy
layer,
Ramone. He was the recent one to die.
Mhm. Yeah.
On my birthday this year, he died.
I'm selfish.
I know.
Do you guys like the Ramones?
No, I'm not really into punk music in general.
Yep.
I haven't fun enough.
One of those things where like I hear people talk about them so much that I feel like I should
No, there was this
listen to them. But I just
There was
never
this, like,
have.
period where everybody seemed to be wearing Ramones t-shirts.
It was the late 70s.
Not well, there was that, but then it came back.
Uh-huh.
It was like 2005 or whatever. 'Cause I remember a lot
Is
of
that when like
college
Heroes
shopping.
season 1 was out because Siler was wearing one day?
Maybe, who knows, man. But yeah, like don't get me wrong. I don't. The Ramones aren't especially like, oh my god, that was. I mean, in terms of talent, in terms of musical ability, fantastic. But it's very basic, but it's really good.
Not like Dicks for Dicks.
Oh man, do you see that? Jesus Christ.
I watched that this morning.
Yeah.
On the way to work.
Casper, good friend Casper Krasinski, who does. They took our jobs.
No, anymore, that's finished.
Well, he did do. They took our jobs. I'm sure some of the shows are still there. You should check it out. Yeah, he put a video for this band called. What was it called?
Dicks for Dicks.
It was Dicks for Dicks, but is that what the song was called?
the
Suck
song
My
was-
Thunder, was it?
No, the song was just called Thunder.
Thunder, yeah. It was hilarious, ridiculous.
It's a cover of AC/DC.
It's not even a cover. It's just they sample it, and then it's like this is some kind of homage, but. And then the video is just this guy in a locked room going nuts in a very nightmarish way. Because why he gave me the link was he showed me a video theirs the other night when I was up like hanging with him and a few friends.
Is this the dubstep share thing?
No, it's not the dubstep version of Cher's Belief, which is really good. But I can't remember what the name was. But it was the same guy, and the video's the same. He's just in a locked room, but he's got a gimp mask. He's like total working his problems out, I guess, man. But it's black and white and very nightmarish and again very ridiculous. But Casper loves it, so fair play.
So like the Ramones, coming up in the 70s, New York.
Well,
He's done that before.
But yeah, man, it's just
CBGB is a chance to have other famous bands roundabout pop in for a scene.
I don't really know much about their own story.
well,
I don't know how
it's
interesting it is.
that whole thing of
A lot of them died at a very young age.
Well, I think it's the whole thing of they were there like and helped spearhead like punk and help. I don't want to say invent it, but they were like the main. They're always like a main name up there with like say like the Sex Pistols or who was the I'm trying to think
Clash.
the Clash. Try to think of the last.
Well,
one. There was a few.
There's
Anyway.
East Coast punk and then there's West Coast punk and then there's British punk.
Yeah,
None
but,
of
you know what I
that's
mean?
really
But
good,
yeah,
yeah.
but round about that period was it like late 70s, early 80s? That's when it was like it was huge. It was very much like we're here to stay. Whether punk's dead or not, that's a debate. But yeah, I really like the Ramones, and again, if Scorsese's doing it,
Yeah,
it'll be fucking awesome.
That's all you need to
It'll
hear.
be
Are
fucking
you guys
awesome.
excited about that?
Well, I'm excited because it's a Martin Scorsese movie more than the fact that it's a movie. About
Jake Leo DeCap will be the main Ramone.
What about your
We'll be all the Ramones.
Yeah, like I'm sure. Yeah, Scorsese is a good director. The Ramones probably have quite a good story to them. They're New York based. They have drugs involved in them. Good music scenes, good music, good soundtrack. Yeah, go for it.
It's that way. I like a biopic anyway, even if it's about stuff I'm not really sure about. We've talked about it before. It's like you might recommend something like see what you said there about Fish and Dangerous Mind. I remember like after watching, I was like, I want to see who the fuck this guy was, and is this true? And that's what I like about biopics. Like, well, I want to see how much this is true and what's not in it.
Well, I mean, that is the mark of a good biopic, is if
You're interested in
you
it.
liked it enough to find out more about whoever it was life.
And Scorsese's done biopics before where I'm like, yeah, I want to learn more about that, or that was an excellent movie.
I'm kind of I generally try and shy away from them. I don't really.
Well, again, I've said to you loads that you should watch The Aviator
Yeah.
because it's fucking excellent.
One problem with the band might be kind of having 4 main characters might lead to the sort of a general story's being told, but you never really get to know any of the characters. But that's always a kind of risk with these.
Yeah. Like, as even, like, I don't know much about the other ones. I don't know if it is, like, is Joey the main one?
Yeah, is there like
story,
an
or,
interesting one
like,
who you really want to follow? Was there the young one who had to fight to join the band, or the older one who really spearheaded the whole thing, or the girl who was the girl?
Oh, the girl, she's my favourite.
Knowing Scorsese, it'll probably be about 5 hours long, so they'll all
And then each
Fucking
hour
awesome.
will kind of come together in the last hour, leading to the exact same point. That's
Sounds right.
Yep.
Blitzkrieg Bob will be a good song to cut a trailer to.
Probably has been a few times.
I don't know that song.
They also did the main song for the film Pet Sematary, and
You want to do Bob?
just because I think the chorus kind of went, I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery. And I was like,
That's
well,
terrible.
that's really it, right?
That is so on the nose it makes me want to fucking whirl.
I really enjoy Pet Sematary as well.
So Pet Cemetery is where people have been burying pets on
An ancient Indian
and-
burial ground.
No,
because that was
no.
the 90s.
No. It's beyond the Pet Cemetery. There's an ancient Indian burial ground where if you bury something there, it comes back, but it's not. It's evil.
It's just evil. It's just like
Yeah, it's like the whole thing starts off with this family who've just moved there and their cat dies, but the dad's like, oh, I don't want my kid and my wife to find out. It'll be terrible. So this old guy says, well, what you want to do is go and do this, but be warned it won't come back the same. So it comes like the cat comes back, it's evil, he needs to kill it, but then what happens is his wee toddler gets run over by a truck, so he goes to bury him, and he comes back banned. And it's very much a Stephen King Stephen King book, but I really enjoy it.
Right.
Why, do you not like Pet Sematary?
No, I've never seen it, but just hearing the guy's kid getting run over, I can tell that desperation from a mile away. I can just see it, what he's been forced to do, and
Alright, I thought you meant desperation isn't storytelling. Alright, well, you know, obviously he's not going to just let it lie.
Actually,
and everything's be fine.
Stephen King had a book called Desperation.
Probably.
No, he did, because it was only because I tried to read and hated it, so I didn't bother reading anything else.
Should remember that one.
Terrible.
Pet Sematary 2 features Edward Furlong, so another film I could think of.
As the
Furlong's
cat.
in it, apart from Terminator 2.
What, in American History X?
Oh shit, yeah, man, he's in
Detroit
it.
Rock City.
Oh fuck, there we go. Anywhere else? Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, he was in one of the Crows, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh god, I never watched that.
He was
Who
in.
cares?
He was in The Crow, City of Angels.
Yeah, who cares?
With Iggy Pop.
Wait, is Tara Reid not on that one as well?
Couldn't tell you. Don't remember.
Oh, that was another thing. Was at home. I started watching Sharknado 2, but then I realised I already said to our friend Neil that I would watch a double bill with him. Sharknado 2
It's a
and
triple bill.
Ghost Shark. Oh yeah, and Airplane versus Volcano. Sorry, Dean Cain.
Volcano wins?
Well, who knows, man?
Who
Right?
knows,
Dean
yeah.
Cain's on it. Superman's there, so who knows?
Cain, wow. I know this was like half an hour ago, but we were talking about Gary Busey. Do you ever see his wordless cameo in Scrubs? Or
No.
like gets a haircut and she says, "Oh, people keep mistaking me for Gary Busey." And later on in the episode, someone turned around to talk to Elliot, and like, "Oh, sorry." And then it's Gary Busey standing there in the hospital. He's like, he just has a crazy face and walks away.
All right, no. What's the name of the? Remember we were talking about. What's the name of it? Is it Turk's Gang? Is it the Mighty?
Mighty Kites.
The Mighty Kites.
Mighty Kites.
Right. Okay. So that's been bothering me all day.
Yeah, it's him and GD's kite flying team.
I love Turk. I also love JD so much, man.
Mickey kites. Steve Carell is in talks to star in a Acme movie. You know,
Yeah.
Acme, the provider of fine explosives
Cartoon bombs.
to
Yeah.
cartoon coyotes.
stuff, isn't it?
All the Looney Tunes, yeah. So I don't know what this would be, like a live action. They say it's doing a live action CG thing
Sort of
about
Roger Rabbit.
the Acme company. That sounds great. Like just like
is he going to be like Michael Scott, like running an
that'd
acting
be so good. That'd be so good. Him working in this crazy cartoon factory with these terrible like gag weapons.
It could go be really good, as in, wow, what an idea, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or to a lesser extent Space Jam.
Cool world.
But yeah, they could also go very wrong. You'd be like, maybe this is a good idea.
All like, I mean, fair enough, it's quite limited, but there's like a few movie live CGI kind of tie-in things, and you go for Space Jam.
That was the first
Space
one.
Jam was good.
Those were the ones that came to my mind.
But like, imagine like it has like cameos from like Wile E. Coyote and stuff, like coming to buy this stuff, and like you're turning them and being like,
Yeah.
this stuff does not work.
That would be
That-
pretty good, actually.
Do not sell to this coyote anymore.
And just hold up signs, as he did. He didn't talk.
Yeah, I think that has the potential to be really funny. There's not enough live action / 2D animation
What's that?
wackiness.
yeah,
not
but-
enough wackiness in cinema nowadays.
Yeah, but it's always a risk of it, like, oh man, we'll wait till someone else does it to see what makes money.
Oh, Paul.
Talking about wackiness in cinema, I also watched The End of the Borrowers.
The live action
One with
one.
John
I've
Goodman.
Jim Broadbent and
not watched that in a long
No,
time.
yeah, it was again just on the television. But we were talking it like I kind of saying like, oh, do you know just there was a certain kind of movie in the 90s,
Mhm.
and yeah, exactly. Everyone just knows exactly like that kind of just kids movie, that kind of
Yep.
weird.
Mousetrap with Nathan Lane
I really
and
enjoyed that.
Lee Evans. That was a good.
Yeah, actually, Christopher Walken's in that as well.
The Page Master.
Oh, I love the Page Master.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the one with
Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin, yeah, it turns into a book.
Who's the old dude?
It was.
He turns into a
Christopher
book.
Lloyd, I think.
Yeah, I
It was.
think so. Yeah, it's the librarian.
Turns into a book.
No,
He-
there's other,
he gets,
there's other
like-
books there.
He
for
gets like
He goes into a
put
book.
into like a book world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
he becomes a cartoon.
Whoopi
There's-
Goldberg is one of
Yeah,
them.
there's the horror book.
Oh,
And the pirate book and
Yeah.
the princess book.
There's a really scary bit where they go into
The dragon.
Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde, Mr. Jekyll.
Ah, yeah.
wait. Is his
Dr.
dad
Jekyll.
not Ed Begley Jr.? Does he not make a treehouse for him? But he doesn't want.
Is that like
Yes,
that
yeah.
name is really familiar, but I can't put the face to it.
He drives an electric
Hey,
car.
Beckman
That's all I can
Jr.
tell you.
He's in Pineapple Express. He's Amber Heard's dad. He's in like loads of things. He's in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
He's Sitwell from
Stan
Stan
Sitwell.
Sitwell from Arrested Development.
Right, alright,
He's in
okay.
loads of
He's
stuff.
alopecia.
So I remember he. Best villain's awesome. No, because I remember like that's the only thing I remember at Page Master is his dad makes him this like fucking awesome treehouse, and Culkin doesn't want to go up there because he's afraid of heights or some shit. I always just thought, man,
But
I wish I had a
in the
treehouse.
course of the movie, he conquers his fear of heights, possibly at a pivotal point in the plot.
yeah, man, Twilight Man, the book requires me to go up here. Yeah,
Which is that kind of slightly tacky.
Casper the Friendly
wackiness.
Ghost.
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Ah.
Christina Ricci was in that, I believe.
yeah.
So was
Was it
Yeah,
good?
Family films.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really liked it when I was a kid. Yeah, I was talking to this there.
Yeah. Any fear changed me.
You guys remember Small Soldiers?
Yes.
It was
I
one of
love
the
that.
terrible
I
films.
love that movie.
fucking
And you need to rewatch that film.
No,
it's
don't
a shit.
say that. Kristen Dunst is in it.
Oh, what? Like that should have been the greatest film ever.
Major Chip Hazard.
Yeah.
Gorgonite. What's the new Gorgonite called?
Hunters, Billy Pants.
Hunter Smelly Pants, of course. How could I forget?
I don't
No,
know.
I love that movie.
He was kind of a dog kind of creature.
Yeah.
Leave it in your childhood, then.
Maybe I should go back and watch it.
It's really like it is really boring. Like
Is
I
that like,
would-
wait, hold on, is that one where like the boy finds a toy that's like a kind of beast man thing?
Uh-huh.
And it like essentially becomes kind of like Toy Story, but like the humans get involved.
Toys
in
Come
it.
to Life, and then you go
Toy
to
Story meets the Indian in the cupboard.
Yep.
There was a-
another fine name. movie.
The little princess.
I think
in
it's
the
like.
Secret Garden.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
No, yeah.
See,
What was that? What was that?
The Little Princess or the Secret Garden. Just those kind of 90s films.
I think it was like late 80s or the 90s. Was there a film called, I think it was called Toy Soldiers, and it was about these kids who were like stuck in a school because it was being taken over by terrorists. I think Sean Astin's in it. Did you see that?
Doesn't
Story
matter.
about-
So-
Kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah. Might go watch that. at some
Called
point.
Toy Soldiers.
I think it's called Toy Soldiers, yeah.
I had like a top-down RTS Small Soldiers game for the PC, and it was awesome. You could either make a Commando Elite or one of the Gorgonites, and you had to
You had to choose.
fight. You had to fight across like tabletops for like
Will Wheaton was apparently also in Toy Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Was it black and white?
No.
Why are all the pictures black and white?
You get that in some. Is he on IMDb?
Yeah.
Sometimes set pictures are just in black and white.
When terrorists took over Regis High,
Yeah.
they expected immediate hostages. What they got was a lesson they'd never forget.
Yeah. Who else did it? Is it Sean Astin, Will Wheaton, and someone else?
Keith Coogan and Andrew Divoff.
Oh,
Divoff.
Don't know who that is, man.
Well,
I thought Pauly Shore might have been in it, but no.
R. Lee Emery.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wesley Snipes says he is well up for doing Blade 4 now that he's out of jail.
Oh, really?
Well,
that's,
is there not-
that's a surprise.
I know, right?
Is there not chat of it going back to Marvel?
It should cast someone else, someone who isn't like nearly 50.
I really like
A man with fading film career wants back into blockbusters.
Yep.
Well,
Who would you cast?
The
The dude from Chronicle?
There's a lot of fine young
Yes,
black
exactly,
actors.
yeah.
you talking about, is it Michael B. Jordan?
Thank you.
Nah, he's not.
He's kind of busy. He's going to be Fantastic Four.
I don't know. The guy from Donald Glover. Let's go Donald Glover.
And do you know what? Do you know what you want? You want Cap America's pal.
He's
Nick
already.
Fury? Samuel
No, he's already in another Marvel movie. You can't have him.
You can
Also,
do a couple of Marvel films.
Chris
sure.
Evans was Human Torch and Captain America.
Yeah.
but neither of them are kind of badass enough.
What?
They're
See, fucking Winter Soldier,
Aye,
man.
but they're too like fun. Blade's
What
supposed
does
to be.
that mean?
Blade is the night. He's supposed to be.
He's the night. He's darkness, mate. He's the night.
Yeah.
Sick.
Just do Denzel. Bring him into the Marvel universe.
I think he's a bit old.
Just bring him in. It's fine. Like, just get all the great actors in.
Jaden Smith.
Man, I would fucking love that so much.
No, man.
No, you wouldn't, though. You
It'd be so
wouldn't.
boring. Like, oh man, cool. Let's cast this guy who's got absolutely no charisma and can't do that.
Please, you know
daddy
what?
numbers.
Afraid of something in the middle distance.
Yeah, don't do it. But yeah, what's your favorite Blade movie?
Two.
One.
There is two.
One. It's one.
No, it's two.
Blade 2 had a light bomb that went round corners.
Blade 1 had Stephen Dorff as the baddie.
Yeah, he got cut in half and like he
And then
reattached.
he rebubbled.
It was like it looked terrible,
Yeah.
but like that motherfucker was trying to ice skate uphill.
I was, he was, man. He's got a really cool death, but the special effects in Blade 1 are just shocking.
But the film's still way better.
The movie's good. No, it's not
movies.
better than Blade 2. Blade 2 is better.
But like I've got like a better appreciation of Blade 2.
It's got like, I know it's
Going
like
back
science, but you know what, man? The whole film is fucking science fiction, right?
Oh!
Some shit just can't happen.
dare you? Is it Luke Goss? This is the second one.
He is, yeah. Luke Goss from Bros.
Okay.
What? For real? Really?
Yeah, that was him and his twin brother. It was in Bros.
Ugh.
He's like mates.
Weird.
Like he's also in Hellboy 2, right?
He's in Hellboy 2. He's in Death Race 2.
Pacific Rim 2, Chronos 2.
Probably.
Speaking of Pacific Rim, with two Charlie Hunnam uses,
Uses his.
Usually.
he's been attached to the Escape from New York remake as in the Snake Plissken role.
There's 2 or 3 folk, but yeah.
I think he could probably, having not seen Escape from New York, I think he could do that.
I'd rather they just left it because I know there's talk of a trilogy, but you know.
But he seems kind of like self-aware enough and kind of like
How does his beard look? I would like a good fade.
Straggler.
he's kind of straggly. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Does he suit an eye patch?
Everyone suits an eye patch.
Yeah, immediately put an eye patch on. Boom. Best movie character. Put 2 eye patches on. Best. Someone else to add?
Also, he's attached to Guy Ritchie's King Arthur movie as King Arthur.
King Arthur, yeah, because the whole thing was he was going to be in 50 Shades of Grey, but then the
Someone slapped him and said, "What do you think?"
so yeah, well, I think it wasn't just that he got replaced because he wasn't happy, and so they replaced him. And the guy that's in 50 Shades,
I think they had to replace because he walked out.
did he walk out? Yeah.
Let's give him credit for knowing
Well,
what was best for his
I like
career.
thinking someone phoned him up and was like, "So Charlie, we start shooting in a couple of weeks." And he was like, "Oh, I was kidding on. I had no intention
You
of doing
know,
this piece of
I've
shit."
had a think, and I don't think so. My friends are making fun of me. It's not very good, but yeah. But the guy that's in 50 Shades of Grey, he was going for the role of King Arthur, and Hunnam got it instead. So it's like,
They swapped.
get up, you know.
When is 50 Shades of Grey from it?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They really fucking missed the timing with that one. Like no one spoke about that really in a while.
It's still the most viewed trailer on YouTube
Is it?
ever. Yeah,
That's horrible.
it is horrible.
Most
But
Fs.
then, in saying that, like PSI is like the most viewed video, and it's not exactly
It's
good.
pronounced Sai.
Whatever, man. It's
I
not.
was going to say, what's the
Pounds
PSI?
per square inch.
It's like a PS Vita. But yeah. But King Arthur, Guy Ritchie's King Arthur. It's the first thing Guy Ritchie's done in a while.
Yeah, what happened to the Sherlock Holmes films? Like,
I'm a bit surprised because they made
Iron
money.
Man's busy doing other movies.
yeah, but like I thought it was kind of set up more or less for Robert Downey Jr. to bounce back and forwards to do Iron Man.
Did he not? Like, did Robert Downey Jr. not say he wasn't want to do it anymore?
I don't know, man. I mean, like this was when he was on the proper rise again. It's like man, it was Sherlock Holmes and Iron Man. But the way the second one goes, you're like, oh, there probably will be a third one. But yeah, just I don't know what else Guy Ritchie's done since then. I don't think he's done anything. He went through a bitter divorce, but King Arthur's the first thing out. I'm like, all right, so this is your next thing, not Sherlock Holmes 3. Oh, we'll wait and see.
How
Them.
many Knights of the Round Table are there?
12 probably. It's
Yeah.
always 12.
You think of the Apostles?
No, well that's 12's like one of those numbers, isn't it? It's just.
I've never heard Charlotte Hunnam's actual voice.
That or 7.
Yeah.
I've only heard. We want to find monsters.
Yeah. He's
How many Knights of the Round Table can you actually name?
Lancelot.
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 Ganelot or Gamelot or Ganelot. There's one that begins with a G.
Bulbasaur. Magneto. Yeah, Scorpion.
Bruce.
And
So, Galadriel.
Sub-Zero.
Yep. Uh-huh.
No, what was the actual woman's name?
Boromir.
Instead of the G. What was it? What was the girl's name in the fucking...
Oh, Guinevere.
Guinevere, that's
But
it.
she's not a knight.
She's a lottery machine.
She's a harlot, is what she is.
She's not a knight.
She's not
She's a woman. How could she be a knight?
No, she's not. She's married to
She
King
was-
Arthur, but she
she
has
was-
an affair with Lancelot.
She was Keira Knightley.
She was.
and then Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Sleepy Dopey,
Sub-Zero.
Brian.
Scorpion.
Oh, eyes.
Paco.
and Paco. Paco's the
So,
name.
that was 12, right?
There you are. That's 12 Knights.
12 Knights of the Round Table.
I would like to see that movie.
It'll be
Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Tinky Winky.
I don't know, man. It's like the Council of Imagination Land, where it's Aslan, Popeye, Luke Skywalker. Ah, God, who's the other ones? But it's just again, it's like all these random characters. Like you'd like to see that as
the
part
Master
of the
Builders.
Yeah, exactly.
Millhouse.
I love that. But yeah,
Chloe Moretz has been out there running her mouth. Just getting on like Chloe Moretz on the Raptors. She says that Kick-Ass 3 is unlikely to happen due to piracy. She says it was the most pirated movie of all time. Kick-Ass 2 was apparently.
Well,
so it made really disappointing numbers at the box office.
Yeah, no,
It was
you're
a
right.
bit
Piracy was
disappointing.
definitely the problem with that movie. Yeah.
yeah, it's like the problem with that movie is it just wasn't as good as the first one, and it was a bit late, and Jim Carrey didn't exactly do himself any favours by saying, I'm not doing any publicity for this film. Because I've changed my mind on action and fantasy and shit.
No, it was like specifically to do with guns, wasn't it?
It was, yeah,
it was
because
like-
there was a massacre had happened, and he's like, I don't want to advocate this movie because that's got a connection to it or some shit.
What was his name in it again?
Captain
Sergeant
Sergeant Stripes.
Colonel Sergeant Stripes.
Cardinal, sorry. Scottish
Cardinal?
Cardinal.
Cardinal Sergeant.
Yeah, because Kick-Ass 2 was alright, but
Yeah, it was okay, but
that's why he didn't do the numbers. It's not piracy.
Well, I mean, I don't think she's just lying when she says it was the most pirated movie of all time.
Was that? It was 15, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So like, no, it was more. It wasn't an 18.
Oh right, yeah, sorry, yeah, it was a 15.
Was it one of those things where did we not get it first? I'm sure like Britain got it before America. Because I'm pretty sure that happened because you were like, that's odd because I mean it's an American movie, we're getting it first. But that's happened a couple of times.
Well, Mark Miller's Scottish.
Scottish, yeah. I think that may have even maybe Scotland got it before England did before.
Maybe that's what it is, yeah. It's the same as what was it? Like, I mean, we would get like Bond and Harry Potter first,
And for some reason, all the Marvel
but
movies.
we get crap America first, and that's why it's like, oh, it did alright here, and then when we went to America, it was like 90 million in the opening weekend. You're like, geez, we didn't get that. But yeah,
over time.
did we get
People got
the Avengers first? Really?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so.
I'm surprised that's the most pirated.
We're getting
movie.
like a week early as well.
That'll be the most pirated movie, guaranteed.
This
No,
year?
but
The
still-
Avengers coming out this year?
No, next
No,
year.
next year.
Oh man, I got myself excited there. Yeah, I forgot it's September. Mate, that's so far away.
It's not really. We're in September now. It's not that far
It
away.
is.
Yeah,
It's
we're gonna
fucking
have
ages.
like the really good Christmas period. We're gonna have all the good Oscar movies.
Well,
and then by that
Mockingjay.
point,
Yeah, but none of them have Thor in them.
like it'll be fine.
Don't you? I'm fine with that. Like Thor is the weakest out of a lot of them, man.
I don't know. I think I always say Iron Man as my kind of go-to Avengers. I thought I'd shake it up a wee bit. Yeah.
I know, doesn't Hawkeye?
I thought Hawkeye was really good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's because Joss Whedon knows how to use characters to the best of their abilities. So yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz has been.
I had somebody yesterday, ask who Joss Whedon was. And it was
What, in
adorable.
work?
Yep, yeah. And I was talking about Firefly, and I was like, oh yeah, like we said, oh, like I don't really like following, like I don't really know anything about it. Oh yeah, but that's just Joss Whedon brings that out in people. He was like, sorry, and I was like, holy shit.
Does this person like claim to be like a film fan or anything?
It doesn't claim to be very much at all.
All right. I mean, I can see the the average Joe, the proletariat, not knowing who Joss Whedon is.
Do you know what that is,
I can
though,
kinda
Paul?
see that.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what that's the side of Paul is you're getting older than those people.
No, it's not. It's not even that. There's people older than us or our age that don't know who he is.
I don't like,
They're all
just
there.
like Buffy was such a big thing.
Buffy, Angel,
Like, see, like
Avengers.
you work in a cinema.
Mhm.
I would be surprised if people didn't know who he was that work with you. If I was to go into work and ask people who Joss Whedon is, I doubt most of them would know.
The reason for that, though, as well, I mean, I don't know this guy you're talking
Don't you be
about.
talking
right?
mess about the people I work with?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying that they're not really a geeky crowd, and Joss Whedon's very much king of the geeks in terms of like TV shows and Marvel movies.
It might just be that I'm too close to it, yeah, to see
Too
it.
close to the
I
edge.
I mean,
yeah.
like an example of this sort of thing that is just astounding is one of our former colleagues, Christine Moss, didn't know who directed Jurassic Park or Jaws.
Mhm.
Same person, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, general manager of a cinema.
Unfucking
I mean, probably slept her way at the top. She didn't know, man. She didn't.
My mum could say who directed
My mum
Jaws.
could not. My mum would not have any idea.
Really?
No.
Your mum would know who he is, though.
She would know the name Steven Spielberg, but I don't think
The thing
she
is,
would
though,
know.
like, I mean, again, your mum is like really smart in the sense that even if she was to pick
You
up
saying Christine's not smart?
No, it's not that. Christine, I think, just doesn't care. Whereas your mum, about stuff that she potentially doesn't care about, if you leave a book there and she picks it up, she probably know. Like that time she was reading about tanks or jets, was it?
Yeah.
And she was pointing the telly about what tank that was or what jet that was. Like, how do you know that? Oh, it was just a book by the
Yeah.
toilet. So I started reading it.
She probably knows how to identify most fighter craft
Yeah.
just by sight. She can tell you what radar technology they've got and what their payload is. Yeah,
That's a pretty useful skill to have.
well, is it?
Well, yeah. Be good for like if there was a Top Gun.
She's taking a trip
Quiz.
to Ukraine.
Okay, so reviews time. Tommy,
I'm going to step out.
Tommy, do you want to tell us about As Above, So Below?
Can I give you my thoughts on Sin City 2, A Day to Kill For?
No,
first?
I've seen that as well, so
Wait, but you not talk about it last
I
week?
hadn't seen it last week, no. So I'm
Oh,
going to
right. Okay,
last
okay.
Or next, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh, well, no, since it's 2 weeks old, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. So last week, Laura gave us a kind of a skating review, saying it was really not very good, and I was listening to her, and like everything she was saying, I was like, I guess she kind of leveled that same complaint about the first Sin City, and maybe hopefully, I don't know, she was in a bad mood. Hopefully,
Well, did she not like Sin City 1?
No, she did.
Alright.
But I was like, hopefully, she's just, I don't know, for some
It's
reason.
the tiredness
Hopefully,
talking,
she's
is that what
wrong
it
about
is?
this,
Right, okay.
but unfortunately, she was not wrong. She was spot on. It's really not very good.
Okay, like everybody. I mean, I remember I chose a bad week to go home because I'm like, Sin City 2, A Day to Kill For, really looking forward to this. I loved the first one. It's nice to see an 18 certificate movie in it where there's going to be plenty of action, plenty of just like old school, like what I like about movies, or sorry, that kind of genre movie. And yeah, it's like a lot of folk were like, it's terrible, it's very, very bad. I wouldn't agree. I think maybe because I'd had the blow softened for me, I'm not as critical. It's boring.
That's
That's the thing about it. Is like, is it good? No, it's just boring. Is it absolutely terrible? No, there's worse things out there.
I didn't hate it like Laura did. I was
Yeah.
just so disappointed. It was
Yeah.
so dull.
Yeah, the first movie, like Sin City, is so well paced. All the stories work together, and they're all like an even like kind of length. Sin City 2, A Day to Kill For, a lot of folk just stand about talking for a long, long time. The actual
And
segment,
not really saying anything.
yeah, not really saying anything worth like of any significance. You've got 3 stories, I think. Is you've got the actual A Day to Kill For, which
Which is like the middle hour of the movie, more or less.
That goes on for so long compared to the other stories. I remember watching it and thinking, wait a minute, this film's done in 20 minutes. We still got 2 more stories to wrap up. What the fuck? We don't have time for that. So
he introduces the first 2 stories and doesn't finish them, then starts Dane to Kill For, and it's entirely
Atlas is it?
and then finishes the last. No, Cloud Atlas is a masterpiece. Come out for this. Cloud Atlas is good anyway. It's really good, but
But yeah, you've got A Date to Kill For, which is the Josh Brolin is Dwight, and he's trying to help Ava Green, who's the damsel in distress, or so you think. You've got the other story of Jessica Alba's character Nancy and her revenge for John Hartigan's death on Senator Rourke, who I thought Powers Booth was excellent in this. And then you've got the other story as well is the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where he's a guy called Johnny, who's like a hotshot gambler and card player, and it's like he's kind of got a beef against Senator Rourke as well, which again doesn't help because you've now got 2 stories about folk that don't like Senator Rourke.
And even in the Dane to Kill For story, he pops up
that is the mainstay of Sin City comics, though. It's like the Rourke family are the bad guys in all of the stories.
Yeah, but it's just Senator Rourke.
It's like, I'm trying to think.
Because Rutger Hauer's already dead.
I think in saying that, like in Sin City 1, Hartigan, it's Senator Rourke's son that he's against, but Rourke obviously is a corrupt individual.
Yeah, and Marv is out to kill the Chaplain guy.
The Cardinal, But again, it's just, I think it's because you get different Rourkes in it, whereas in this it's just Powers Booth, and I know that there's no other Rourkes left, but still. But like A Date to Kill For, that actual segment, it goes on way too long.
Did you hear that?
Is that your jaw?
That's my neck.
Oh my god. The mic picked up. Like someone's like death.
4 or 5 of them.
The Joseph Gordon-Levitt one is such a pointless story.
Oh no, it takes about maybe 10 minutes of the whole film, and it's
like,
split into 2 different halves.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this is
They did the exact same thing in the first film. Hairnet.
But that's who? Yeah, but that's the intro and the prologue and the epilogue. This is like supposed to be a fully contained story, like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, but you get like, I read that like Frank Miller did that thing where he wrote some of these segments specifically because the movie was getting made. But yeah, and again, it looks like Sin City. A lot of the dialogue's quite cool, but again, I suppose the only connection all these things have, apart from the fact it's all based in Sin City and Senator Rourke, Marv's in it for no real reason.
Yeah.
He just kind of pops up and is almost a parody of what he was in the first one, which is quite shit.
Yeah.
And the same as the action, it's like the action in the first one, like visually, it's quite stylistic, it looks quite cool and it's quite brutal. In this, it's like it's so cartoony to the point where it's almost trying to parody the first one. And again, it's just like,
how long has it been since you watched the first one?
It was not that long ago.
I watched it less than a month ago, and I still thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Right. But like see it again. Like I'm now in the position you were last week.
I know what you mean.
Where it's like all the things you're saying right now.
Exactly
say about Sin City 1.
No, it doesn't feel off this time.
Yeah,
It doesn't have that kick, doesn't have that punch.
Yeah, but Sin City 1, you're like, man. Yeah, it was Sin City 1, you're like, this is fun and it's cool and I'm totally invested.
Well balanced.
Yeah, whereas in this, you're like, it's long, it's bloated, it's boring. I don't care what they're talking about. Can we move the story along? Is anything going to happen? Is it done yet? You know, that's the problem. You're like, man, just they've gone a bit more. There's a lot more kind of visual style to the like. Right, we've realised what we can do. We're going to try and do this, and some of that's kind of cool. The soundtrack's cool. I mean, the dialogue's cool, even though we're not really talking about anything, but it does have that, you know, Sin City dialogue. Another thing that's kind of bothers me is, you know how, like, when you watch the first Sin City, and it's like, you've got Hartigan, Clive Owen, and you've got Marv. Marv's got that kind of gravelly voice. Hartigan's got that, like, you know...
Gravelly voice.
It's kind of gravelly, but it's a bit more soft, and Clive Owen's got a bit of a weird accent. See this one, see when every story starts, it's always like, walk down the back alley of Sin City, and then it cuts to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so he's like, in Sin City, and it's just like, they all sound exactly the same. They might as well all be the same person. But yeah, I was disappointed. It's not shit, it's just, I would say it's disappointing and it's boring. You don't need to see it.
Is it the sort of thing that where a director's cut or a kind of re-edit would make it in any way better?
That's one of the biggest things about it, is it's not as tight as the first one. See, when you watched the first one, you're like, I'm satisfied, I had a really good time watching this movie. Yep. With this one, again, yeah, it's quite bloated. You'd have to short A Date to Kill For, but even then, not a lot happens in A Date to Kill For.
Aren't interesting.
Yeah, it's like Johnny's one, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's one. Come to the end, you're like, Also, it was some kind of moral victory, so who cares? That was what pointless
And the
story.
thing is, like, you can see that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is good at that kind of thing. He's just given nothing to do with it.
And then like Josh Brolin, you're like, all right, you're okay. So is that it?
Can you see, like, who was David Carradine supposed to be in it? Like, can you see where he would have fit in?
David Carradine? Who was he supposed to be in it?
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't even know he was supposed to be casting it.
Yeah, like, this is like back when Sin City 1 came out, like
Right.
a couple months after it.
Right.
Obviously, when David Carradine hadn't killed himself through wanking,
Yeah.
he was slated to be in the sequel. And like,
But that got a lot of that got changed anyway because Johnny Depp was supposed to play a character called Wallace in it, and he's not in the film.
yeah, okay.
It's the same as like Michael Clark Duncan is obviously he's dead, so it's Dennis Haysbert who plays him, and you're like, okay,
Prez, man, the big Prez.
yeah. And again, he's excellent in it, but I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is like Ava Green's naked for most of the film. You're like, but it gets to the point where even that is comical. Because they start talking about how she's a goddess and when she can wrap anybody around her finger and she can be one thing or the other and
Did you do that in the first one?
But again, to the point where in the first one there's enough there, like with Goldie, but in this one it's like, man, she's like naked for like pretty much all her segments. She swims a lot and there's all this visual style and they keep trying to emphasize how much of like, you know, she's like some kind of genius at manipulation. But again, to the point where like, we get it, just get on with it, further the story, we get it, stop being a fucking parody of yourself. But yeah, that was Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Just watch it when it comes on, but don't expect a lot.
Yeah, it's shot onto my most disappointing list, along with Godzilla.
Is it as bad as I Frankenstein?
No, it's not as bad as Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Expendables 3, but
Man, I want to get a T-shirt with that one. I want to get a T-shirt with it. Just, is it as bad as I Frankenstein? Question mark. Make that happen, someone, please.
You, it's your thing.
As of episode below, or do you want me to talk about Let's Be Cops?
You choose, man. I'll tell you what, I did a lot of talking there, so you do Let's Be Cops.
Let's Be Cops won't take very long. We were talking last week about how it's apparently got really bad reviews and kind of bombed the box office.
Mm-hmm. It looked shit.
I thought the trailer looked okay. I like Jake Johnson, the guy from New Girl. I think he's a likeable, kind of funny guy. I don't think I've ever seen Damon Wayans Jr. in anything before.
He's in the Other Guys.
Is he? Right, okay, I don't really remember then. But,
do you remember like when Mark Wahlberg remember when The Rock and Sam Jackson died at the start? Spoilers.
Yeah.
And then it's like the next two cops are going to take over, and it's the shouty guy from Step Brothers, and it's him and it's his partner.
Oh, right.
That's Damon Wayans Jr.
Okay. Like they're both quite likable in this movie. They seem to have like good chemistry, but it's just not a very funny movie. Like it's watchable and it's likable, but for a comedy, I just didn't laugh that much. The story's really predictable, like really predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the last like third, it's as if it even kind of stops trying to be like a comedy movie and just like, okay, now it's just like an action cop movie for the last part of it.
Okay. Until you said that, you're making it sound like that Google movie that Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Internship, yeah. Really nice guys, predictable, but not funny.
I never saw much of The Internship, but a lot of that seemed like it was actively unfunny.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's jokes, but they're bad jokes, and they're not funny jokes.
Okay.
This is just kind of like, yeah, that was good effort, but just like didn't laugh that much.
In improv Apatow.
No.
It's just not, or there's just not really jokes there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. Like it's not as kind of loosey goosey as those kind of movies. It's, I don't want to say tight because that sounds like
it's scripted.
It's crafted. Yeah, it's definitely scripted, and the people are reading their lines and they're delivering them fine, but just the lines aren't that funny.
So like Neighbours then, or sorry, Bad Neighbours from the UK.
No, that is very Apatow.
Loosey
goosey. Yeah. It's fine. Like, don't go out your way to watch it. If it's on TV,
it's on ITV too.
You can do worse
okay.
than sitting down and watching it. It's not very long.
It's not as long as some films.
It's got some okay action scenes in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess by enough on the kind of the charm and likability of the two main guys.
It just sounds like you should watch Hop. If you want a film that is sort of copy but then gets lost and just becomes an action film.
National Security.
Or any of the first two Jump Street movies.
Yeah.
Like, and this film really suffers for coming out a few months after 22 Jump Street, which does it does all the best comedy cop gags,
Mm.
and this is like nothing in this
A-
movie
a
is
cheap
really,
pretender.
really as funny as that is. Yeah, there's a weird story with like the Russian mobsters, because Russians are like the go-to bad guys at the moment. But Rob Riggles is in it. Shouty guy from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he's
Is he a
okay.
shouty guy?
He's not even really. No, he's a bit toned down in this one. He's actually a slightly more straight role than you've ever seen him do,
Okay.
which is weird. And Andy Garcia pops up in a very menacing role.
Andy Garcia.
I know, yeah. I didn't even know he was in it, but he's
Oh.
he comes in like maybe just over halfway through the movie as like kind of the big bad guy. And
Okay.
He's pretty good. He's pretty menacing.
Okay.
But yeah,
No, he is
nothing
good.
special. Nothing special at all.
Oh,
But not terrible.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as above, so below.
As above, so below. Okay, it's well, you watch the trailer and it just looks like kind of found footage, folk running about the French catacombs and a bunch of scary shit happens. Like when I first started watching it, I mean, I was like, okay, I don't think this looks good at all, but I need to watch something for internet journalistic purposes.
Is that what this is?
I think so. So I was like, okay, I'll go watch it. So I went in and expecting it to just not be very good, and it's not very good. It's like it starts off with like the main character is this girl who's like a professor, an Oxford professor, and she's basically kind of like she's in the Middle East and she's wanting to she's trying to track down this like ancient kind of carvings because her dad was obsessed with this like this mission to find the Philosopher's Stone. So she goes and she gets what she needs, and then it cuts back to her in France where she it cuts back to her introducing herself because it's like this documentary crew with her now, or sorry, when I say crew, one guy, and it was like she's like, yeah, I'm a professor in this. I speak 5 languages, and I mean. She's like, I'm not an explorer of that, but I really want to go exploring because my dad was after this thing. It's like, okay, yeah. It's like, you don't really look like an explorer. She looks like she just come out of the H&M boho chic kind of fucking magazine. And it's like, right, okay. And then she goes to find this guy, and it's like, okay, this guy who they're not friends anymore because he just breaks into places and fixes them. Like he goes into like a clock tower and fixes it, but he breaks into it, and it's
And
like
that's why they're not friends anymore.
no, like this is how she meets him. You're like, oh, this is his thing. This is what he does. But they're not friends anymore because apparently, like the last kind of mission adventure they were on, he ended up in a Turkish jail, and she was like, oh, it wasn't really like a Turkish prison. It's more like a jail. I was like, yeah, but still, that was pretty shady, right? And she's like, yeah, but I need you to help me translate this this piece of information I've got because I don't speak that language. It's like one of the only ones I don't speak. I'm like, okay. So the guy's like, I don't want to fucking help you, man. This is crazy. And then 2 minutes later, I'll help you. So then he helps her, and then it's like, oh, it just happens to be that what you're looking for is in the French catacombs, and we're in Paris, so how about that, right? And then it's like they go to the museum. It's like it's the grave of some guy.
Jesus.
No, it's not Jesus. And it's like, right, yeah, this is where my dad got to, but he never had the piece of the puzzle he needs. So again, it's kind of playing out like this really cheap fucking like National Treasure Indiana Jones.
It sounds like one of the Uncharted games.
Yeah, because she talks about it as like, I'm looking for the Philosopher's Stone, and it's known as it's able to turn things into gold. And I'm like, so what this and it's like it's got ancient secret properties. And I'm like, so this is just what Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, for a really cheap, shitty budget with shitty actors. So then they go to this place, and then it's like, oh, we found the thing, but now I need to go into the French catacombs because there's a secret place where the thing will be. And then the guy's like, all right, well, cool, I'm not coming with you. And then 2 minutes later, okay, I'll come with you.
I've heard enough of the synopsis, man. Why is it shit?
Okay, shit because it starts off like a shitty adventure movie. They end up in the French catacombs where it goes into basically becoming a horror movie. Now, the folk
Like the same.
what's happened here is for the start and the end of the film, the person that made it or wrote and directed it, has watched National Treasure and Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. For the middle part of the movie, they've watched The Shining, Event Horizon, and The Descent. Because when they're in the French catacombs, a lot of like weird shit starts happening, and you start like learning that they need to keep going deeper and deeper to find the Philosopher's Stone, and they end up doing it, but it still kind of plays out like a horror movie.
The whole thing just these two people.
It's these two people plus these 3 French folk that know the catacombs better than anybody. Yeah. So, and the film kind of just plays out in a sense where, like, okay, some of the sound design is pretty cool, where you actually start hearing, like, horrible shits about happening. Like, okay, Shining, check. What the evil things that are happening, Event Horizon, check. And then, but there's no Sam Neill. And then it ends on a really kind of almost positive note. And it's just shit. You're just like, this is so fucking all over the
They
place.
see the Philosopher's Stone, just start turning everything to gold.
No, they see the Philosopher's Stone, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, by doing this, you've done something, and they're starting to see like all these ghostly figures and.
The ghost of Charles de Gaulle and Napoleon and stuff.
Harry Potter.
Oh no, it's like again, it goes into that cheesy thing where like the guy, like one of the guys with him, his brother drowned when they were really young. So who does he start seeing now in the catacombs? His brother. And then it's like, oh god, my dad hung himself during this like the last couple of years. Who does she see her dad? And it's like, oh my god, it turns out actually in order to get out of here we have to atone for our sins by jumping into a well. I'm not shitting you, that's what it is. And it's just like, and then it ends, you're like, what the fucking hell is this fucking shit? What? And there was so much about it where I was like, sound design's nice, there's some nice ideas in terms of the scares, but fuck's sake, it's all over the place, and it was not enjoyable. Don't bother.
What is the worst ending to a film you've ever seen?
Oh my god.
I mean, it's got to be Remember Me, doesn't it?
No, I said worst, not best.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Remember Me's probably the most surprising one.
Yeah. The plane's going. That's a good ending.
Okay, then the worst one I've ever seen is probably Chinatown in that case.
What is that not?
What, really?
That's an incredible ending. This I'm doing.
Oh,
all
God.
over.
Is Chinatown a biopic?
Yes, it is. It's when Jack Nicholson was living in Chinatown in the 70s.
It's not. Hold on.
Shut up,
I'm
man!
thinking of the guy who wrote Chinatown is in a biopic called The Kid Stays in the Picture. That's what I'm thinking of, right?
Jack Nicholson.
No.
Roland Polanski?
The guy who wrote it.
Wait, you might be right
The
there.
Kid Stays in the Picture was the name of the
Yeah,
documentary.
you might be
And
right
it was
there.
about Chinatown.
I don't know, is it about Chinatown? Or is it just, I thought it was just about his career. I know who you're talking about though.
Worst ending, though, that's a good question.
Chinatown's a great ending.
It is, yes, fantastic.
It's fucking awesome.
So
You're like,
chill.
oh.
Or is that just like a gangstery mafia
Nope.
triad?
It's a noir detective story, but it's
Yeah,
it's
and then
not black and white. It's set in like the LA sunshine in the middle of the 70s.
The ending is don't worry, kid. It's Chinatown, or don't
Forget
the
about
Yeah,
it.
Jane- Chinatown!
Just so
Best sentence ever.
So-
depressing.
Like, if you want an example here, like the reason I asked the question is because obviously I had one in mind.
Right, what?
It's not the ending of a film though, it's the ending of a TV show.
What?
Where it's
Well, say,
Can
what,
you tell us the ending?
yeah, tell us the TV show first, 'cause I don't want to be like, and that's how...
it's something. No, you guys aren't going to give a shit at all.
Is
It's
that
from an
right?
anime.
Oh, right, okay. fair enough.
It's
Carry
from
on.
Evangelion.
Ah, you
Where,
talk highly of that
yeah,
show most
yeah,
of the time.
like, the show's excellent, but the original endings, well, before I tell you what the ending is, I'll tell you the reaction to the ending, where fans across the world sent the writer death threats because the ending was so bad,
Gee,
and like they just pestered him until he eventually rewrote the ending.
I think the last
and
time
brought
that
it out as a
happened
movie.
was Arthur Conan Doyle. I think it was.
There you go, when he killed off Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Real angry.
Do you remember Mass Effect T? That was
Yeah.
that was a big deal.
But I mean, like it needs to be quite a monumentally fucking dire end to make it so that like the entire fan base are just like, what the fuck were you thinking? So like, yeah, he redid the end and brought out a movie called The End of Evangelion, where it was a big
Really on the nose.
yeah, the whole end of Evangelion was a big fuck you to the people who sent the death threats, because he gave them everything they wanted to see, but then intentionally followed that up with something horrible happening to everyone they loved in the show. So it's like,
Wow.
there's a girl who's like all bravado and stuff, and like you never really see her kind of get set loose on things and destroying stuff. So in the movie, they've got this big scene where she's like just ripping things apart, then she gets like ripped to shreds and eaten alive. So like, that sort of thing happens with like every character. They all have their moment of glory, immediately followed by the big fuck you to the people who send death threats. But the original end of the show was that the main character who you followed through the entire thing, like he's got ups and downs, he's going through all these life events, kind of coming of age stuff, and at the end, he essentially just dies, and then everything turns white, and it's like he's in a hospital bed, surrounded by every other character in the show, and it just comes up, congratulations, on the screen, and that was the ending.
Oh.
It's like, it's such a fucking horrible thing. It's like, it's almost like the guy got to the end of the thing and just was like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, my hand is tired
Yeah.
from all this animating.
Just congratulations, Eden. It's like, you know, you've just finished Street Fighter 2. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Did the death land well? Was that kind of emotion? Like, was that quite a nice emotional? Like, this is like, oh god, I can't wait to see where we're going here.
No, even it's just like, it just kind of just happens. It all just fizzles out. And it's like, what was that? Congratulations. It's done. You got to the end.
See, I can't think. I can think of a movie that is quite bad, but it's got a really good ending. Terminator 3. It's got a really good ending, but
Where
the
like
shit.
the whole thing's about them getting him to the bunker so he can survive the attack.
I was
So, I mean,
that's-
like, that movie, The Call, like, I mean, I really like the movie and it had a bad ending, but I'm not going to put that up on any sort of pedestal. Like,
I mentioned earlier, but Switchblade Romance does have a really
Yeah.
bad ending.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking
That's-
talk about making a whole movie null and void because you have a really bad twist decision.
The Village?
Oh,
Twisty films generally can be a real make or break. Like, it just doesn't work.
The Village though, yeah, like
Like, I love that movie.
I've only seen it once, but yeah, that end is so fucking stupid. It's unreal.
If you watch that movie for the twist, you're watching a bad movie.
But that's the problem is Shyamalan having to that point is, well, what's the twist going to be?
Yeah.
And then you watch, you're like, are you shitting me? Do you think we're stupid?
Sunshine's a pretty bad ending.
Bad ending, but the movie's still
Oh
good.
yeah, no, I think you've actually just nailed it. Sunshine has got a fucking abysmal ending.
It's not so much the ending of Sunshine; it's just one character, but the rest of it is fucking spot on.
Dark Knight Rises?
No, like, the end of that, right?
Ah, yeah, right. Fucking Alan, right. You don't go into this discussion since we're talking about
Oh.
Nolan. Like,
What's wrong with it?
old blinders Alan Kerr and Nolan.
Oh,
dude, what happens to the end of Dark Knight Rises?
It's always specifically just the fact that Christian Bale is spoilers.
The
Not
big,
dead.
yeah, like the big fight. I would say, from the big fight of kind of over Gotham Soul onwards, it's just a bit like.
I don't think it's an ending.
The only
It's like,
thing-
man, they could have done better with this.
The only things I don't like with the end of Dark Knight Rises are, and I guess one of them's a pretty big thing, the whole Talia al Ghul thing, is that
Everyone knew that.
it diminishes Bane as a threat. It makes him second tier.
It doesn't diminish Bane. It
It
just
turns him into a henchman.
I don't think that's yeah. No, he's a henchman, but that doesn't mean he's not a threat.
Like,
No,
see,
but just the-
see, like it's as much as like it's an unoriginal thing to do because it totally follows that formula of a non-physically imposing mastermind with a very physically imposing henchman thing. It falls into that whole trope where that's like so many other things.
And Bane's so
But Bane-
badass for the rest of the movie.
Bane's good at that though. Like he's
Yeah.
But like,
Bane's so clever though. He doesn't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
Talia.
exactly.
you know though. Like,
No,
Yeah,
but
but
it was just the writing of that one scene because it wasn't brought in earlier.
Yeah,
because
and
there's
it's
not enough more
Like,
of it.
as soon as she starts talking, he just sits back and doesn't do it, and it's not till she leaves like, you know what I have to do.
you know I have to.
Like, and then it's like, okay, cool, like, Bane's back, like, why did he just sit and be such a bitch for that little bit when Talia's talking?
He's
Oh,
kind of
you're
struggling
gonna
to breathe.
I suppose. And also, this is just a small thing, but showing Michael Caine
Yeah,
actually seeing
yeah.
Bruce, it would be better if it just shows Michael Caine looking up and being like, oh, and not actually cut to Bruce and Selena, like,
You wanted Inception.
just cut the spinning top on his cafe table, yeah. No, that's a little thing, but the Bane thing does annoy me.
I'm done with ambiguous endings as well. By the way.
You can't say that!
I'm glad there hasn't really been any amazingly ambiguous endings since Inception.
Like, I don't think Inception's
It
It's
got
not
so
that ambiguous.
overused.
What? An ambiguous ending?
Yeah.
What are you
Just
talking
at
about?
one point, it just seemed like every film that came out, if it was trying to kind of prove itself
Like,
as being like
yeah.
kind of intellectual or credible, it was like, oh man, you end it on an ending that people
Like,
fucking talk about.
You can't say you're over ambiguous endings, you can say you're over bad ambiguous endings. Like, if it's
No,
done right,
just
it's
like
still
even
amazing.
Inception, I'm like, just fucking have it topple or have it not. Just
Crazy thing
don't,
is,
don't make it fucking wobble a bit and keep spinning. Just fucking don't.
Nah, man.
nah, man.
No, Inception's one of those things where it's like everything about it just like kind of worked. Whereas you've got then films that are have probably thought we've got the best ending, but we need to have a story up until that point.
Speaking of which, ambiguous endings, have you seen that this week the guy who wrote The Sopranos came out and told you definitively what the ending was?
Mhm.
Did you read what it was?
Yeah.
Bear in
it's
mind,
like-
I've not watched films.
yeah, I was like, oh well, there you go.
Just looking at Paul's DVD collection, a movie I don't rate it that highly, but has a really good ending. The Thing. really good ending.
The thing is,
It's just a great movie.
fucking
Like, there's,
a great ending.
there's not a bad bit in that film.
Usual Suspects, awesome.
Good ending. Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Actually,
it's very
Paul,
easy to talk about with good endings.
what's the Paul? Can you look up bad endings so it can maybe give us an idea of?
Oh, I would like to talk about this next week because I think it's a pretty rich topic, and we're at like an hour and 35. So.
All right, are we
Just
running out of time?
Like I've heard this on a different movie podcast when I was cheating on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But like, have you guys got any movies that you hated the first time round, but then ended up loving the second time round?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Dawn of the Dead remake, and I watched it again. I was like,
I probably do, but that's again, give us something to think about it. You need to think up these topics and bring them up at the beginning of the show.
That wasn't my topic. I stole that
Um,
about screenplay. By the way, don't need advertising.
I don't know if like, because we watched it for the Raptors, but I don't know if I liked Into the Wild or when my review of it was positive. Because or was I initially like, wait, hold on, actually, that guy's a fucking idiot. That movie's stupid. That's so stupid.
Such a dick. That movie is fantastic.
He's an idiot.
He's
An
not
idiot. He
He's-
really was.
he's
An
an inspiration.
irresponsible idiot.
I'd like to take a step longer than Alan saying that you should bring it to the beginning of the podcast, but you should like put it on our Facebook page. So
Okay.
that I have time to, because
Yeah, give us time to think about it.
yeah, even over like 90 minutes it would be too
too
not
much.
enough for me to like. I need to sit and have a Wikipedia or a Google and kind of
Go that far into it.
yeah.
Does something
absolutely.
just pop in the top of your head? Like,
I am terrible at that.
I've got like there's 3 movies I can think of that just pop straight into my head when I think like the first time I watched it, I hated it. The second time I loved it. The Village is one of them because the first time I watched it,
You were
I thought
drunk,
no,
or-
that was Punch Drunk Love.
Okay.
Well remembered.
He hasn't watched that.
I thought it was going to be like a kind of a slasher horror flick because that's what the trailer makes it out to be.
Yeah.
And when it was this total slow thriller, I was like, fucking, what is this? Hated it and walked out of it. And then, like, when I actually thought about it, I was like, I didn't hate that movie. I just
I wasn't in the remake.
I just didn't get the movie I was expecting, so I watched it again. The other one's 12 Monkeys, which I hated when I first saw it, and now I think it's one of the best films I've ever seen. And the same Ghost in the Shell, hated it. It's one of my favourite movies. Just odd.
Cool. Well, more of this next week because I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, well,
but I like to have
continue
tiny
this.
bits to think about it and give some good answers. Next week out, Sex Tape is out. Jason
Yeah.
Segel, Karen Diaz. And Before I Go to Sleep, like Memento Part 2.
Oh yeah.
With Nicole Kidman and
Colin Firth and Mark
Sean
Short.
Burton stuff, yeah. And The Guest, which is a really good poster. You should go and check out the poster for The Guest.
When does
Thank
the
God,
box
I
shows
like
come out?
It's still a while away.
It's on the buses though, it's on buses.
Maybe Halloweenish.
Maybe.
Just
Yeah.
assuming it's kind of got that as Henry Selick style.
I think that's the next film I'm actually looking forward to.
Well, join in next week for more of the same. You've reached the end of Raptors in the Kitchen. Congratulations.
Time for cake.